my gut tells me that they were ambushed.
So, I had assumed this whole time for 6 months now that it happened in the middle of the night.
And now we know it was the middle of the day. Absolutely.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Like it's something like this. I don't want her involved in this. Okay.
At some point, Chris locates what's called a dry bag.
Brian Laundrie's body has been found. Law enforcement had considered Laundrie the only person of interest in the murder of his fiancée, Gabby Petito.
You're the one that filed the missing persons report.
Yeah, and I'll totally come forward with that.
That's all it is the truth. So there's nothing to hide in that coroner's report. There's nothing to hide by not having Calli take a polygraph. And if the truth comes out, and this was a...
How do you deal with it? I had to sneak the other day when I was with Josie. I had to sneak and talk to him. I had to sneak and talk to him about his sister.
Makes me think the worst. Like, did you do that to all three of them?
Hey everyone, how are you? And good afternoon here on the East Coast. It's 2:38 p.m. and it's actually around the nap time for my little one. And I was just reading up on this case and I was like, wow, this is insane, interesting and tragic, of course, like many cases. But the body of Cassie Carli has been found in Alabama inside a shed, allegedly a shallow grave as well. It's just devastating. It seems to me from what I've looked at all morning long, another possible narcissist has taken the light out of somebody who didn't deserve it, clearly, from what I've gathered. I've taken notes and I put together a little audio that I was hoping to play for you guys, and it would introduce us to the case. As I'm playing the audio and kind of going through the notes, I'm going to be checking Twitter and just Google on the case to see if there's any updates. We are waiting on a lot of information, as this is obviously the early parts of the investigation, but the autopsy is supposed to be conducted today. It's probably already been completed, and we're just waiting on the updates. So I figured while we wait on the updates, I would just introduce you guys to the case, or if those who have heard of this case, let me know. If you guys, have you guys been following this? Press 1 if you have, press 2 if you haven't, and I'll just say hi while you guys answer that. And hi, Katie and Delana, Valerie. Thank you for being here on such short notice. RAS and Pearls of Wisdom. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's last minute. I don't know how I managed to pull this all together while she's napping, but hey, Rebecca. Okay, good. Looks like so far everyone pretty much is familiar with the basics and up to speed with everything so far. I might end up playing the press conference. We'll see how it goes. Usually she naps until 3:30-ish. So we'll get like a little bit into it. And like I said, while I play this pre-recorded update that I've put together, I'll just keep checking to see if they've released anything. I'm sure it might take another day maybe for results on the autopsy. I don't know. But hello, Lori and Pink Dahlia. Okay, let me share my screen. The body of missing Florida mother Cassie Carli was found Saturday night in a shallow grave in Alabama, nearly a week after the mother vanished while going to pick up her daughter in a... Can you guys hear that okay? I just want to make sure before I continue. And hello, D. Irish and Janelle and everyone else who is joining. Yeah, this was, she's 37 years old. Okay, it looks like chat is saying they can hear me. Custody exchange with her ex-boyfriend, officials announced on Sunday. Authorities executing a search warrant found Carli's body buried inside a barn in Spanevelo, nearly 300 miles north of where she was last seen in Navarre Beach. Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson said at a press conference Sunday, Carli's ex-boyfriend Marcus Spanevelo, who is in custody, has ties to the property, the sheriff said without elaborating on the connection. Spanevelo is facing charges of tampering with evidence and providing false information related to the investigation. The more charges are pending for Spanevelo following the results of an autopsy. Cassie, 37, was identified by a tattoo on her body, police said. It's not the ending we wanted, obviously, but we're hoping to provide a little closure to the family, Johnson told reporters. Spanevelo was interviewed by authorities in Birmingham on Wednesday when authorities confirmed that Saylor was safe. Police placed him under surveillance in Tennessee, which culminated in his arrest Friday by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations and Tennessee Highway Patrol. He was slapped with his current charges for allegedly taking Carli's cell phone and getting rid of it. The sheriff added he also lied a couple times in different scenarios. I think we have a great case, the sheriff said. I think he is going to either spend the rest of his life in prison or get the needle. The sheriff said that due to the ongoing investigation, his office would not reveal how they learned of the location where Cassie's body was found, but said the suspect in the case does have a connection to the property. Marcus Spanevelo, Cassie's ex-boyfriend and the father of Cassie's daughter Saylor, had been arrested earlier in a traffic stop by the TBI in Lebanon, Tennessee, after having been under surveillance by multiple agencies. He is currently being held on charges of tampering and destruction of evidence and giving false information concerning a missing persons investigation. The arrest was based on a warrant from Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit. At Sunday's news conference, Sheriff Johnson said an autopsy would be conducted Monday morning, after which he expected further charges to be filed. We have definitely got a great case, and once autopsy's done, you see the charges filed, you'll understand, he said. Carli was, as we stated earlier, identified by a tattoo in a place that normally you don't have a tattoo, Sheriff Johnson noted, and the type of tattoo has led us to believe that this is definitely her. Cassie was last seen around 7 p.m. on Sunday, March 27th in Navarre, Florida, at the house she shared with her father. She and her 4-year-old daughter, Saylor, had recently moved in with him so she could get back on her feet amid a custody dispute with her ex-boyfriend, Spanevelo. Dateline spoke with Cassie's sister, Rianne Carli, earlier this week. Rianne said that on March 27th, Cassie was scheduled to meet Spanevelo so he could hand over Saylor as part of their shared custody arrangement. Initially, the plan was for them to make an exchange at Walmart in Destin. She knew to go to, a public, well-lit place, all that, Rianne said. But the plan changed at the last minute, Rianne told Dateline. They decided to meet up around 7 p.m. in a parking lot of a bar called Juana's at Navarre Beach, at a mile or so from where Cassie had been staying with her father. So a big parking lot and people using their boat ramp, usually nice public place. Rianne said, my dad said it was just a very brief, be right back, Dad, I'm just going to Juana's. Although Rianne said the area was familiar to Cassie, Sergeant Richard Alloy, public information officer for Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office, told Dateline the area she was in was very dark. It was a parking lot. Rianne said their father fell asleep and woke up. Cassie and Saylor weren't home. When he woke up at 10:45 p.m., he immediately started calling my sister and no one would answer, Rianne told Dateline. She said her father then received some text messages from Cassie's phone, which he didn't believe were actually from Cassie, stating that she was having car and phone troubles. Cassie's father reported her missing the next day. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office determined that Saylor was safe and unharmed during the investigation into her mother's disappearance. At the news conference on Sunday, Santa Rosa County Sheriff Bob Johnson described Marcus Spanevelo as, quote, totally uncooperative with authorities and throughout the investigation. Quote, I mean, it's your baby's mother and you're not going to cooperate with authorities? That's kind of a telltale, end quote. According to the sheriff, the only thing Spanevelo said after his arrest was, quote, lawyer. It is not clear if Spanevelo has a lawyer at this time. Okay, so that's pretty much the latest. I do have some notes, and I was thinking of sharing a News Nation video with you guys. It came out, I think, a few hours ago, but from my notes, all I've written is, so she was reported missing on the 27th, which was a Sunday. Their child is 4 years old. It seems as though that they've had relationship issues even during her pregnancy. They ended the relationship after the child was born. Throughout their relationship, the family has also noticed red flags about him. The FBI are involved, and I just noticed a few more had joined us, and I just wanted to say hello to Delaney and everyone else who have just gotten here. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so she had just started her new job. Hi, CDT. So glad you're here. So yeah, she just started her new job at an Air Force base. She was getting back on her feet and living with her father. Usually they would meet up at a public setting, her and her ex-boyfriend. They were never engaged or married. I'm sure she got away from him immediately as soon as she saw like red flags, or, as quick as she could, it seems. So they have joint custody. They swap the daughter named Saylor every other weekend. Last minute, apparently this night, Marcus had changed the meeting spot to that location in that parking lot that I showed you. Let's see. Sometimes her father would even go with her to do the exchange because that's how uneasy this guy was. And, apparently she was afraid of him. Her brother has stated that she told him that Marcus had threatened her on numerous occasions. He has a violent history. Let's see. So I guess when the dad had awoken after realizing that they weren't home still, he had contacted Marcus and, was calling Marcus, but Marcus didn't answer the phone calls, but then texted back and, played the whole, like, yeah, she was having phone and car problems, this and that. And, it was sort of red flag immediately because, like, what are the odds you're having phone and car problems? Like, obviously, I don't know. It almost makes me think, and it's obviously too soon to tell without the autopsy results, but it seems like this, I don't know if it was premeditated, too soon to tell, but like he was fumbling already early on as far as, pretending to be her in text messages with people and, just putting on this elaborate lie pretty much. Let's see. So her car was found in the same parking lot that they were meeting up at. Her credit card and her purse were still in the car. It stated in one of those articles that he had gotten rid of her phone. I didn't read much as far as like the detail behind that, and I'm not sure if anybody in chat or anyone watching this on replay knows exactly how he got rid of her phone, but they know that he tampered with it and got rid of it. Let's see. The sister was frantic at one point and texting Marcus where is my sister type of talk. I have those texts, I think. Because also they didn't know where Sailor was either. The sister texted Marcus, "Is Sailor with you? Please, Marcus, this is not like my sister. She was doing great and was supposed to start a new job. I hope you will at least cooperate with the police and let them know you have Sailor. She is now a missing person." And he responded, "Sailor is with me. She wanted to be dropped off in the middle of nowhere in Destin with Sailor. I told her I wouldn't let Sailor go like that. To give me an address and I'd take them to it. Yeah, cops already called me and might call again for more questions. If they do, I will. Apparently everybody will be asking me that. So I'll just copy and paste what I told your father." So he's going on with this lie that, her car and her phone were having problems and he had dropped her off somewhere and she wanted to bring the child and he said no. Like, this is obviously all a lie. And they have now since found her body in a property that was tied to him. They haven't really stated how they connected the dots there, but yeah, I agree, CDT. She said, "I'm so thankful they recovered so quickly and at least that he was arrested." Agree. Definitely, because to have it dragged out, that's why I'm almost thinking, like, if they connected this property, which let me show you, you guys saw it. I know you guys have seen it. If they connected this property to him, not very smart to bring her to something that could easily have been figured out, right? Right, exactly. What a genius. Yeah, he is a sicko. Like, doesn't he just look it? He gives me like creeps, like chills, like ew. So yeah, let me just play that little News Nation thing because I pretty much covered everything I had written down. At one point, his sister, who we've called her Rianne this whole time, that's her name. So the sister is Rianne. She said at one point during the custody battle with this guy, she made a GoFundMe for her sister. And in the GoFundMe, it had stated this man, has been abusive towards my sister. So it's been on some public paper trail, like even on the GoFundMe, that this guy's unstable and there's red flags. So immediately the police, I'm sure, were looking into this character right off the bat. And that's what it seems. It's just been executed like, brilliantly, it seems so far. So yeah, and the fees for the GoFundMe were obviously for the custody, and they still ended up with this joint situation. And Marcus has called CPS and had made fake police reports against her in the past. Like, she's just obviously dealt with so much abuse mentally and however else. Very much creeper vibes, Katie. I agree. Valerie, very creepy looking. Yeah, she is. That she does look like such a sweetheart, and everyone, her family has said that she was just, very bubbly and joking around all the time. So it's just crazy that someone who's described as always being funny and jokey it's like opposites do attract. You can't deny it in a lot of cases. And relationships. Sometimes they work, but then other times you come across somebody who's just cold, clearly. I mean, calling CPS and making fake police reports, that's terrible. Apparently, the family of Cassie Carli has been in contact with the Gabby Petito family. And I'm not sure if the Gabby Petito Foundation has helped at all in any of this, but they've lended their advice and just open ear, allegedly, to the Carli family. So let's see what this News Nation thing is. I haven't watched it yet, so I'll likely, for fair use purposes, pause it and kind of go off chat and what you guys think of it. And again, thanks for being here, guys. This is very last minute, and I'm still going to be checking updates for anything too, because we are waiting on the autopsy results, which I don't really expect to take place today. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we'd get them the same day?
Details about that missing mom from Florida. News Nation has learned the body of 37-year-old Cassie Carli has been found. She went missing a week ago in Florida. Investigators say her body was discovered outside the state. Ileana Diaz is joining us live from Miami's FBI headquarters with more. Ileana.
Adrian, Carli's body was found in a shallow grave in a barn in Alabama. The good news is, though, her daughter, who is 4 years old, is safe and has now been reunited with Carli's family. And Carli's family says this news is devastating, but they are.
Okay, so yeah, she, like, just to recap, give a little emphasis, they're supposed to be in Florida. That's where the meetup was. That's where they live. Apparently, Marcus even lives. Where did he live? Oh, if I could read my handwriting. But anyways, yeah, they live in Florida. Her body's found in Alabama. And I feel like even though this is a terrible situation, the only silver lining is to know that the child is okay, and that the parents actually are currently fighting for custody of her as we speak while he is arrested and in custody. And yes, he's from Panama City.
They are relieved to know that they will find some closure.
37-year-old Cassie Carli went missing 8 days ago in Navarre Beach, Florida, after she met up with her ex-boyfriend to pick up her young daughter the couple shared. Then on Saturday, Carli's body was found inside a barn in Alabama. Her family and friends gathered to remember her life.
She was the light of your life. Every smile and everything she did to help people.
The Santa Rosa County Sheriff say they can't reveal how they found Carli, but said the location is linked to her ex-boyfriend. Tennessee Highway Patrol, the FBI, and sheriff deputies arrested Marcus Spanevelo during a traffic stop. He is in custody in Tennessee, and the sheriff's office is waiting for him to be extradited back.
Oh yeah, that's other detail that I forgot to let you know, and can let you know now, that they put surveillance obviously right away on him. So that's why it was like during a traffic stop, it seems. They'd been following him and then got information or something enough to pull him over.
To Florida.
Since we've been dealing with him, he's been acting like a dirtbag. I don't see that changing, so I'm sure there'll be an extradition process.
The sheriff says Spanevelo got rid of Carli's phone and changed his story numerous times. Carli's sister said Carli's father received suspicious text messages sent from Carli's phone the night she went missing.
Isn't it sort of amazing that you can tell almost, like, when you really know someone and it's not them texting, you almost know, like, even though it's text, his family, and you've seen it in other cases where people pose as somebody through the text messages and they're like, something seemed off right away. It's like these people think they can get away with it even though it's text message, and it never ends up happening. And that's interesting description of him, like that he was acting like a dirtbag. He looks like one.
The text messages my father received from my sister's phone were nothing of typical speak my sister would have said.
Spanevelo has not been charged with Carli's murder, but the sheriff says they have a strong case against him.
And I think he's either going to spend the rest of his life in prison or he's going to get the needle. So hopefully the needle.
I expect the murder charge probably to occur once they obviously conducted the autopsy and know the manner and the all that. So what are you guys thinking?
Now, the ex-boyfriend is being charged with giving police false information and also tampering with evidence. There is an autopsy scheduled for later today, and the sheriff says depending on those results, the ex-boyfriend could face more charges, one of them being homicide.
All right. Thank you so much, Ileana, for the update. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below.
All right, so let me just play this little press conference too, because I haven't watched it yet. This is unraveling for me in the same speed it is for you. And as those are playing, we still have no current update. I'm still checking, guys.
So they can go live? Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. We have had a development in the missing person case.
I love how that guy just walked right in front of the camera as soon as they started. But yeah, Katie, that I've noticed. She said, I will say that I love our sheriffs in Florida as they really don't bite their tongues as to how they feel about situations. I appreciate that. There's nothing worse than watching like a lead in law enforcement go up there and just sound very rehearsed in front of the media. Like, I just want to know, I just want to feel like we're being transparent and it's not just rehearsed pretty much, you know? So I appreciate that type of off the cuff verbiage and all that.
In Navarre. First off, I'm joined by Mark Alderman from the State Attorney's Office. So Cassie Carli, who's been missing now for about a week, we discovered her body while executing a search warrant in Alabama. It was in a barn in a shallow grave. So it's not the ending that we wanted, obviously, but we're hoping to provide a little closure for the family. And also, as you know, as we reported earlier, the suspect is currently in jail in Maury County, Tennessee, on charges of tampering with evidence and giving false info reference missing persons investigation. Our major crimes unit, I can tell you this, I've never been more proud of them. They've served multiple search warrants in multiple states, traveled over 1,500 miles in a week searching for evidence in reference to this crime. So I want to thank them, but I also want to thank FDLE, FBI, Fish and Wildlife, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Alabama Investigation Division, St. Clair County SO, Alabama, Springfield PD, Alabama, Walton County, Bay County, and Okaloosa County for their assistance. That tells you how far out this went. We're just proud that we've got this guy in custody. Obviously, more charges will be pending, depending on the autopsy, which will occur tomorrow morning. If you have any questions in reference to extra.
So yeah, the autopsy has been completed this morning. We're still waiting on an update. Nothing so far. He's being charged with giving false information and for tampering with the evidence. I'm assuming that will probably or is about the cell phone that he got rid of, possibly. I also noticed that they got a warrant for that property. So that takes a little bit of time, possibly. I don't know. It's missing person, so maybe it is super quick. But they're not releasing how they connected him to that property yet. That's still part of their open investigation. And thanks everyone for being here.
Tradition or charges that will be pending on him, I'll defer to the state attorney. So do you have questions? Yes.
Do you guys know how she was killed?
No. That the autopsy will reveal that tomorrow, hopefully.
Has he been cooperative with this investigation? And
Absolutely not. No.
what was the tip, or what was the information that led you guys to this place in Alabama? Are you guys revealing where she was found exactly? Or?
No, and we're not revealing how we found that location either right now. So you got to remember, it's an ongoing investigation. So.
Hi, Alex Erickson. I just wanted to pause it and remind everyone that as soon as he was arrested, the only thing that he's spoken since has been lawyer. And they don't know if he's retained a lawyer as of this morning in one of the articles that I played. So he's being uncooperative, and the charges obviously are probably going to accelerate given the fact that the property is tied to him. It's his ex-girlfriend, you know. We're waiting on those autopsy results.
We can just tell you that we had information that led us to that place. We got a search warrant and we discovered the body.
I'm sorry, you may have said her body was found overnight or this morning? Or?
It was found yesterday evening.
Is the shed connected at all to Mr. Spanevelo?
It is in a roundabout way, but we can't get into that either. But he does have a connection to the property.
Or I would say if the body was found like out in the open or covered or anything like that?
No, a shallow grave.
Regarding the previous charges, can you get it all into what evidence he tampered with and what evidence he might have destroyed?
Yeah, it was in reference to the victim's phone. He took her phone and basically got rid of it. So.
Were you guys able to ever locate the phone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Where?
We're not going to go into that one.
And how did he lie to investigators? What did he lie about?
He lied a couple of times actually in different scenarios, but what was the exact thing?
We just uncovered clear and convincing evidence that the information he gave us was materially false.
Yeah.
That we were able to confirm.
How did police encounter him yesterday? Was this during a traffic stop or?
Yeah, actually our detectives went to Tennessee and got with the Tennessee Highway Patrol and Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and they did surveillance, found him, and took him down on a traffic stop and arrested him.
So obviously Thursday when you guys had the other press conference, it was clear that he was a suspect or a person of interest. You guys were keeping tabs on him.
Right.
And do you feel like he was on the move and a flight risk? Do you think he was trying to leave or hide or?
Well, I can't speak for his thought process. I can tell you this, he was totally uncooperative. He never cooperated at all with us. And that goes a long way. I mean, you think about it, it's your baby's mother and she's missing and you're not going to cooperate with authorities. That's kind of telltale.
At this point, you may have said it, but the child, where is she? And I know she's safe, but is she back with family or is she still in custody?
Not yet, but we're working on that as we speak. But yeah, she's been checked on by the Tennessee Department of Children and Families, and she's safe.
I know you said he wasn't cooperative. Is he speaking now that her remains have been discovered?
No, all he said was lawyer. That's all he said.
And does he have any known criminal history with this department or any other that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
In terms of extradition, when can we expect him back here, or is he fighting that?
Mark?
Obviously, he's in Tennessee right now. We will know very shortly as to whether he's going to waive extradition. If he does not, we'll have to submit paperwork to the governor's office and do a governor's warrant.
And that can take up to, that can be a process?
It can be a process. Usually we have about 30 days to do it. But we should know within the next couple of days as to whether or not he's going to fight extradition. So if he is not waiving extradition, it will take a little longer. But it's a pretty routine process going through the governor's office.
And at what point will he, I know you said the charges will obviously be upgraded. Will it be once he gets back here, or it can be before then?
At this point, as the sheriff said, the autopsy is likely going to be tomorrow, which will reveal a great deal more. As soon as we know more, we will file the appropriate charges. And we've been in consultation with the DA's office in Alabama. And as soon as we know more, we'll figure out what to charge and where to charge it.
Do you guys believe he acted alone?
Yes.
Was he alone at the time of his arrest yesterday?
Yes, he was. Yeah. And, you know, as for extradition, when you say, will he waive extradition? You know, since we've been dealing with him, he's been acting like a dirtbag. I don't see that changing, so I'm sure there'll be an extradition process. So.
Do you have any history of Cassie complaining about him or any domestic incident history involving the pair?
I was told by somebody that she had applied for a DVI before. But I don't have specifics. I don't.
And just another question, the conditions of Sailor, was she unharmed, completely safe when you saw her last, and does she remain so?
Well, we never saw her, but the Department of Children and Families in Tennessee are the ones that responded out and said that she was unharmed and in a safe environment.
I know it was asked on Thursday, but do you guys believe that the little girl may have witnessed anything or possibly could provide information for the investigation?
Yeah, I mean, she's 4 years old, so I don't know that she saw anything. We don't have that information yet, but, you know, her being 4 years old, I don't know how much info we could actually get out of her.
Did someone from your sheriff's department notify the family, and if so, how did that go? Was that in person?
Yeah, in person, I did it this morning, so.
How did that go?
Well, as you would expect it to. They're crushed. You know, I mean, it gives them some closure that they know where she's at now, but still it's their daughter. I mean, you know, daughter and sister, and it is terrible.
Was it difficult for you to do that?
It always is. But I mean, she was a citizen of mine, so I'm obligated, and it's not something you look forward to do as a detective or as a sheriff. It's horrible.
You had said on Thursday, when asked about the investigation, that the whole major crimes unit,
yes,
you said 10 or 11 investigators, that was their sole purpose in finding Cassie. Talk again about that, just the fact that you guys weren't giving up and that you did find her.
Yeah, and like I said, they went over 1,500 miles in this investigation, multiple search warrants on cars, phones, houses, properties. I just cannot speak high enough about them. You know, very little sleep, traveling all over the place. So we've got them in Tennessee, we got them in Alabama, Panama City, and they're all working as one team. And it came to this conclusion, which, you know, we hate it that Cassie has passed away, but it's good to get closure for the family, and it's good to keep this dirtbag in jail where he belongs.
Since her remains were found in Alabama, are all these agencies still going to be with the investigation, or is it kind of just maybe?
Well, yeah, they're still helping us, and they've been a great help. Like, you know, up in Tennessee where the truck is, they're taking care of forensics up there, and they're helping us with that. And of course, the FBI and FDLE are great at offering their services as well. So it's kind of a team effort here. But we have definitely got a great case, and I think once the autopsy's done and you see the charges filed, you'll understand. But I think we have a great case, and I think he's either going to spend the rest of his life in prison or he's going to get the needle. So hopefully the needle. But
so you said we're not able to know exactly where the child is. It's with DCF, or she is with DCF.
No, she's not with DCF. She's with the family right now, but they've checked the family and they checked the location, and she is safe.
And sorry, another question coming in. Do you expect she'll be charged with murder?
Well, I'm not going to speak for the state attorney. They're the only ones that can charge somebody with murder. But after looking at what I've seen evidence-wise, I think it's, definitely.
Tomorrow, you guys think you'll have a cause of death?
Yeah, the autopsy's done tomorrow. It's going to be done up in Alabama, I think Huntsville, Alabama. And once we get the results, that will be immediately forwarded to the state attorney's office, and we'll do what we need to do.
No, I'm sorry to be redundant, but just to absolutely confirm, this body has been confirmed as being Cassie's.
Well, and when I say that confirmed, it's been confirmed by a tattoo. Okay, so it's not like dental records or fingerprints or anything, but it's a very, very, you know, it's a tattoo in a place that normally you don't have a tattoo. And the type of tattoo has led us to believe that this is definitely her. that and the property coinciding with, the suspect, it kind of all came together.
The family haven't identified her yet, or have they?
No, the family didn't identify her. Detectives on scene identified her via the tattoo and the information the family gave us. So that's how she got identified.
It's a pretty unusual situation in being them doing the custody exchange in a public place. Do you have any recommendations for other family members to do the same or to go to a different location?
Yeah, well, no, public place is always good, but time of day matters as well. If it's dark, if they're parked in a secluded part of a parking lot or something. And when I say do your exchange in public, I'm thinking, 4:00 in the afternoon.
So I just had to pause it real quick. And hello, Marshall Dove. Thank you for being here. Hi, Nicole. I just was getting, again, I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. So I'm like monitoring the baby camera. She's still sleeping, but I'm also, responding in chat and listening here. And I just keep hearing, and everyone knows that they've been able to identify her by the tattoo. And of course I was thinking like, oh, interesting. Or, that's good that they know. And now I'm just thinking and watching his sort of mannerisms, and he was doing like the eye flutter and kind of like holding his eyes closed a little bit with it, which is a self-soothing aspect. And it makes, obviously he knows way more about the crime scene and the pictures and all that, and he can't say everything that he knows to the public right now because it's open investigation. But I just getting a really, really bad feeling about her cause and manner of death. And I had seen somebody asked if we had any indication on it yet. We are waiting for the results. I'll pull up Twitter as soon as this is done, but I just wanted to pause it and kind of say like my feelings on this officer's sort of like body language as he's responding to the questions about her remains and all that. I just, and this guy looks so creepy. And not that you can just go by somebody's mugshot, but just based off of the witnesses, including her family and, all the false police reports and false CPS reports, and just everything that they know about this guy, even though that they've said here that there's no criminal history, there's been paper trail with their custody battle and issues in court for that, I'm sure. And the GoFundMe the sister made. I mean, everyone knows that this guy has been a red flag ever since this poor woman met him.
The Walmart parking lot, broad daylight, that kind of thing. That's what we mean when we say in public. So it's just, if you have to exchange kids, I would say broad daylight, a big parking lot, lots of people, that's public.
You
Yes.
said on Thursday that you guys were looking over surveillance videos. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, dark, whatever. What has that been able to produce for the investigation? Are you guys still combing over that, or? We are. And there's other things that keep coming in. We get tips all the time about, hey, he was in this store or he was here. So now we have to go there and review video footage. And so it's ongoing. Just because he's in jail, it's not over until he goes to prison. Then it's over. So we're still doing a lot of investigating. Anything else? Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly, Bonita Barbie. Agree. Thank you, Punksy. Appreciate you. Let me just, even though there is no update on Twitter, just for visual purposes, I will share my screen. So this was a statement from the family. They said that he was going to be arraigned in court this morning, but there wasn't going to be a link or any like visual for the public. Yeah, there it was. Okay. The body found in a shallow grave inside a barn. And I'd seen Rebecca's comment in chat earlier about the link of the shallow grave to Chris Watts, and it's so sad, you know. But what I had done and actually seen in my research is a lot of times shallow graves are typical for these types of crimes. Shallow grave is like telltale sign, apparently. So he's scheduled for that court appearance at 2, which has already taken place, and we don't have any updates since. Let me just check chat. Marshall Dove asked, is there evidence so far that this was premeditated? I saw somebody earlier say in chat that they felt it was, but now I'm like, I mean, I feel like it's just too soon to tell, maybe. But again, they've had a tumultuous relationship. So it's sick, but like, even if he didn't know or think about it until like the day of or the day before, I'm sure it was something that he had laid out in his sick mind after going after her in so many different situations, like the fake police reports, etc. You know, I'm sure he's like had this in his mind, like, where would I bring her? You know, how would I do this or that? And the fact that they're only identifying her by her tattoo. I mean, again, it's only been what, 8 days, 8 days since she was reported missing. Why would the tattoo be the only indicator of that was her? I mean, would she be that far gone? I don't know. I hate having to like think about that, but they just kept emphasizing over and over. And I'm just like, what did he do? But so it seemed like that they had nothing like on file, but at some point he said that she applied for a DVI, but nothing officially had been filed or something. They don't know if the child had seen anything. It's good that they got her phone though. Teresa says, sure, it will be premeditated. She told her attorney and family she feared him. He was to pay child support or lost his driver's license last week. Oh, hey, Amanda. I agree. And she said this crap has got to stop. I agree. It's just unbelievable. It's like the same thing over and over that we have to see. She was very beautiful. Yeah, she has that like spirits and shine from the inside out, and this guy has like the opposite. I don't know. They have a link, it looks like, organized by the sister. On their matching tattoo had the LUA, and it was something that they had done, you know, a little family inside quote type thing. Love you always. And that was their tattoo that they had. They were extremely close, talking daily, and always ending their texts with LUA slogan. Cassie truly loved life always. Unfortunately, our family has not seen those texts in over 5 days. On Sunday, March 27th, Cassie went to pick up her daughter, Sailor, from Marcus Spanevelo father at the meeting location of Juana's on Navarre Beach. She left out of the house, telling her father, Andrew, whom her and Sailor resided with, "Be right back, Dad, just going to grab Sailor," only for my father to wake up 3 hours later in an empty home and worried. He repeatedly called her, only to receive a text message from her phone that we do not believe was from her. It stated that she was having phone and car troubles, will be staying with Marcus so he can fix. He was not relieved, but decided to wait before contacting law enforcement. Monday morning, her father, Andrew, and sister continued to try to reach her by phone, only to be directed straight to voicemail. As the logical thing to do, Andrew attempted to reach Marcus because he was the last person to see her. He would not answer Andrew's phone calls, but instead texted him back, seemingly irritated that he was even contacted by him. He proceeded to tell Andrew that he dropped Cassie off in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, let me just check chat. You guys can hear me, right? I was reading all that. I'm like, am I muted? I agree, CDT. Like, what is happening? Why would they, if they had issues, for them to have that type of joint custody? Although, thank goodness, she was unharmed, it says. But they don't know what she saw. That can still mess somebody up. We've seen it in so many other cases where, you know, it's imprinted on your mind. Like, even though she's 4 years old, something could have been done as far as damage. We don't know what she saw. So, where was I? Immediately, Andrew knew he had to contact law enforcement. So on Monday afternoon, once he realized she was not coming home from work either, he did just that. So far, we have found her daughter, Sailor. But okay, this is obviously when she was missing, just to update everyone in case you're confused. The sister made this when she was missing. Sailor, but she is not safe until she is back with her maternal family at home. And they're working on that, like we've stated. And the officer stated in the press conference. We are not stopping till we find Cassie Carli and bring her home. She would never voluntarily go anywhere with Marcus. She was in the best place. And we also, just to reiterate, the father used to have to go with her to meet up with Marcus for this exchange of the daughter in custody. And it seems as part of the premeditation aspect, you know, he changed the location last minute on where to meet her, and then meets her in the parking lot that I had shown, but the lot for the Google image is obviously lit up. So it was nighttime from what I'm understanding, and super dark, not a public setting. So sad, because how did that end up happening? And it's like, you can't obviously blame the victim, but it's like that would lead you to another indicator of premeditation. What do you guys think? Yeah, Brenda. How are you? And how is everyone doing in chat? Baby is still sleeping, just checking her on the camera. Rebecca said for sure was planned. Yeah, I hope we have that result back soon too. No updates right now, right? Let me check. Per the judge office, no link will be available for Marcus Spanevelo arraignment, but channel 217 Nashville will be in the courtroom. Let me look that up. Hold on. 217. No updates. Hey, criminality. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll probably get an update sometime today. I feel like I've gotten lucky with being able to get this live stream done while she's napping. It's 3:33. She's been napping since like 1:15-ish. Nope, no update yet, Anne. I'm feeling like right now, because I don't have anything else really to say, they believe he acted alone. That Florida is working with TBI and FBI. Apparently, TBI is going through a vehicle that they have in Tennessee, and it's a team effort. That's what that guy said. It seems like they found her because this was on Sunday, this press conference, and they said that they found her in the evening last night. So if this was yesterday, obviously that would be, they got her on Saturday night. Marcus just pulling that up as a visual, changes the screen up for you. No updates. Thank you, mods, and everyone in chat, by the way. I really appreciate you guys being here. This guy just gives me the creeps looking at him. Let me just see if there's anything else to share. I feel like now would be a good time. Oh, yeah, Teresa, that's a good point. She said he will have charges in 3 different states, 2 to 3 states. For sure, he'll definitely have multiple states with charges because her body was in Alabama. Yeah, New Ann. It's sad. The daughter, who knows what was seen, we were saying. Is that what you're thinking, Rebecca? I was thinking it, but obviously without the results of the autopsy, I didn't want to just predict, but I don't know. I was initially thinking that, but then the guy's body language during that press conference, the officer, when he's being asked about like the crime scene, pretty much, I felt he was like, when they just emphasized the tattoo was the way that they identified her, I was a little not feeling so good if that was the only identifier. But we'll see. RAS, yeah, I bet. She said, or I bet this guy pleads to avoid trial and avoid the needle. He will try for it. Well, he seems really stupid so far, so we'll see what type of decisions he's ending up making. But if he's already asking for a lawyer and that's the only thing he's spoken since he's been arrested, I'm curious what this lawyer ends up coming up with as a defense for all this. Because, yeah, a plea deal might be on the table if it's just not looking good so far. Very, very soon, in this unraveling very quickly. So good on law enforcement so far. It seems like everything just was executed efficiently. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my. Oh no, I just looked on baby monitor and she's like sitting up. Now she's like laying back down. I feel like I should probably sneak a little snack in while I have a minute, while she's waking up or whatever she's doing. But I appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Jane Gilmore, for that super sticker. Hey, Vicky. This was a spur of the moment live stream because you guys know usually I don't go live during the day, but I was kind of just reading up on this and it was interesting to follow. So did a quick live. But anyways, that's about it, guys. We'll wait on the results. Once I see the results, I'll probably post it on the community post because, you know, I just feel like I'll probably end up being busy later with the baby and all that. But my next live stream will be on the Kurt Cobain death investigation. April 4th is today, and a lot of people who believe that he was murdered believe that it happened on the 4th. Even though his death certificate says the 5th, and his manner of death is described as something alternative than murder, I believe it was murder. And that's where I'll end it. We'll have another live stream, I don't know, maybe Wednesday. Keep you updated on that too. And that is it. So thank you everybody for being here, and thank you to my mods, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and wait for the update on the community post, or I'm sure you'll see it. It'll be breaking news soon.